Shout out to chivalrous. Did I say it right? Chivalrous. Whatever it is. Those type of men. I literally just saw a man open the door for his wife, his girlfriend. I don't know who it was, but it was just the sweetest thing, and I love to see it. Shout out to y'all.
High value men ignore women because we're actually busy. It drives the woman insane. That makes her want him even more because he has a purpose outside of her. He's saying, my life comes before yours. He's saying, what I want to accomplish, you take a back seat to it. Women can never love you if you make them your entire life. It never will happen. Women only love a man that makes her a part of his life, not his entire life. And if a girl can't get a hold of me for a couple hours, oh well. If she gets butthurt, deuces. They do it to us all the time. They don't give a fuck, right? They'll ignore you, flake, but they actually are not busy. I'm really busy.
And here's what happens when the men check out. I get to go home. My house is quiet. I don't want no drama, no foolishness, no texting, no nonsense going on. I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. I can just go home. I could just go home. I could be out there dating, but why would I do that? And all of these modern women don't have a good head on their shoulders. Why would I be out there? For what?
Why do people think that chivalry is just about basic mutual respect as opposed to a one-way servitude towards women?
Probably because it sounds a little bit selfish to say that you have to have a chivalrous man, but then you're not wanting to serve him in other ways.
Why do people believe that chivalry is dead when chivalry is still expected and practiced?
I believe that it is very hard to find, and so it feels like it's dead, but it should be still practiced, but it's far and few between.
I think women want to do whatever they want, but want men to treat them like with chivalry, but they're not treating their men that way, so they're like not being wise and acting as that to receive that kind of treatment.
You know, I don't think it can be understated that guys have pretty much had enough. There's a lot of foolishness going on. There's a lot of women doing a lot of stuff. Just chock full of foolishness. And they're thinking, for some reason, that guys are okay with that. They're thinking that men are going to be like, oh yeah, yippee. I love this. I love the way that you're acting. Especially in front of my family and my friends. They know what type of man I am. They know what I stand for. My boss. It literally don't matter who I'm around. The people in my circle that I come in contact with on a regular basis, they know what I stand for. And to have you pulling up acting a fool really does a lot. And it goes a long way to ruin my credibility. But you can guess that most modern women don't care about that. They only care about themselves and what they get out of the deal.
Sometimes the woman is not being mindful of how she is speaking to that man. Not being mindful of how you are shutting him down in the sense of whatever no, you're wrong. No, it's not this. You're not even allowing yourself to listen to him. And so now he chooses, okay, I'm not even going to speak at all. And now when you attempt to speak to him, he's like, no, it's pointless. I'm just going to not say anything and just wait till this hopefully blows over. And then we just act like this never happened. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that later. But the point is, yes, because there is the possibility that him ignoring you is due to conflict that occurred between you two, you want to, before you attack his ignoring as him just being, again, selfish in that moment, you got to give yourself an opportunity to say, okay, what have I done? Have I done anything to set the stage for this?
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. So I honestly think up until this point, modern women have been real clear about the stuff that they do and they don't want. Right? Well, I don't want this part of tradition, but I do want this part of tradition over here. And consequently, it seems to always be the part of tradition that benefits you the most. Interesting. And they're dishonest about, well, you know, that's misogynistic. So what they do, knowing that they have to sacrifice, knowing that they would have to work and reciprocate, they just say, well, everything the man wants is misogynistic. So we can't, I mean, you wouldn't want to do that anyway because the patriarchy hurts you. No, I get it. I understand it. You talk about the patriarchy, talking about the system. There are some parts of the system that as a man, it hurts you too. Got it. Understand it. I agree. But why is it that nothing in the system that you want hurts you? When it comes to the stuff that you want, and it's a part of the patriarchy, it's a part of the old system, that's healthy. We need to keep on doing that. Those are the things that we need to keep. But when it comes to what a man wants, you see, it's just ingrained in you. You're a bad person. You can't do anything about it. We have to train you. We as a society, we as women have to train that up out of you. It's the patriarchy, man. You gotta get that out of you.
Women are hypergamous. They want males who are of equivalent or higher status than them socially. And the same isn't true in reverse. And so what that seems to indicate is that women, and the data bears this out, by the way, women are not happy if they are associated with a relatively low status partner in comparison to their own status. And what that seems to me to mean is that to some degree, it's incumbent on women to support their husbands to the degree that's possible in achieving and maintaining the status that would make them as women satisfied. But I know there's something that's deep about it, and that it's something that our culture has done a very bad job of sorting out conceptually and technically. Female can identify what's poisonous early so that it doesn't become so poisonous that it's destructive, and that's part of that discretion and judgment.
Yes.
And she can bring that to the attention of her mate.
And a lot of these modern women, sometimes they get it through their heads. I'll even say, we say, well, you're going to wait until you're 30, 40, 50 years old until you realize, man, I fumbled the guy. But there's some of these modern women out there that understand, hey, this was a good guy. I want to get a second chance with him. The only problem is they realize, hey, academically I can't even say academically now. I have to say through experience, they realize this guy that I thought was going to be the alpha male is not good for me. So I'm going to call back to this guy and hopefully he takes me back. Unfortunately, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, you don't really even want to change your ways. You want to keep on doing what you're doing. And I'm a prize, but I realize he's a prize too. And so I'm going to back off a little bit, but I'm not going to back up too much because that's who I am. So I might back up 10% and still keep 90% of my attitude and expect him to be okay with that. If you go out there and a man dogs you out and then you trying to, skip on back to the guy that you left, you gonna need to back off more than 10% of your bad attitude. You gonna need to back off like 50% at minimum. At minimum, you can keep your personality because that's who you are. But that attitude you had, you might be able to keep 10% of it if you're lucky.
I wouldn't go as far as to say that women chivalry, whether you look at from Cardi B to Beyonce or working moms like myself or even countless others, what we have done is we have evolved the conversation of what it means to be a woman in today's society. And what that means is, we're doing it all. And it basically means that men have to basically rise to the occasion to meet us where we are. We are not, the mothers of our past, and there was nothing wrong with that, but we are getting our arms involved in a lot of things, and we're busy doing and juggling millions of things. So chivalry is not in the essence of we don't want men to open doors for us. But what we are saying is, you have to handle us and you have to handle our full-time job as well.
Having to handle a woman isn't exactly my dream scenario. I think what a lot of people fail to realize is that men are the true romantics. Men at least used to enjoy being chivalrous and treating women favorably. But a lot of times men are still chivalrous, and sometimes women get offended by it or they find it corny and cringe.
A lot of these modern women refuse to go 50-50. They refuse. I was listening to Stephen A. The other day, and I think he was doing an interview with him. I want to say Shannon Sharp, and he was talking about all of the things that he brought to the table. And he was like, man, if I'm walking in and I'm having to cook, after all of the things that I bring to the table, I'll take you out to eat. I'll take you out to eat. You know, I'll take you and he started listing off the things that, yeah, I'll do that for you. But if I have to come in after doing all of that and cook, what do I need you for? And that's the thing a lot of men are asking. You don't have any money. I'm still going to ask the same question. If I have to go out there and bust my band, because the work's going to be the same. The work is going to be the same. If I have to go out there, I might not get paid as much as Stephen A. But I put in a lot. I might even put a lot more effort than Stephen A. He might be working in terms of mental. I might be working in terms of physical. The work that I do takes a physical toll on my body. And so if I'm putting my body on the line, he puts his mind on the line or whatever. If we're doing that, but in different ways, we're going to ask the same question. Because the sacrifice is going to be the same. The mental effort, the physical effort is going to be similar. And so I'm going to arrive as a man at the same conclusion. And that's going to be, what is it that you're bringing to the table? I'm telling you, they don't understand. You're going to run into that same question at every level. And the only difference between a man that you think is a lower level and the man that you think is a higher level is that man's going to sit there and look at you. Did I stutter? No.
Being the strong, independent black woman gets tiring. I personally am done with it. I am done trying to do everything myself, trying to prove society that I can get my bag and I can do all bad by myself. I don't want to be Superman. I don't want to wear tights. I want to wear a skirt and heels and just dance. I want to be in my softness. I want to be in my femininity. And I want to be able to ask a man for help and not feel guilty. I think as black women and women of color, we have to step into our femininity. And I had to realize that asking a man for help and a man helping you do things that you are far capable of doing does not take away from your feminine power. It does not take away from your essence. It allows you to bloom. It allows you to blossom in your own energy because you're not running around trying to do everything.
I think modern women get in the habit of asking about good men and how you can find them. But I think, if you really are actually honest with yourself, you'd understand that the good man in a lot of situations was really always there. He's right in front of your face. It's just that a lot of times you don't want to acknowledge it. I've seen street interviews, and you obviously see it in your life where a woman will be describing a man, and the man that she's describing will be right there beside her. Well, I'm looking for this. Oh, but he's a friend and I can't. And she will sit up there for years on end, decades even, mess around with the people that she's not supposed to be messing around with, knowing that these guys are doing her dirty. And then at the end of it, want to go back to the man that's been standing beside her the last 15 years and want him to be like, okay, yeah, I've been waiting on you. I mean, you don't think that's disrespectful? No, because I was at a different time in my life then. Y'all got to learn, because y'all be doing it in y'all's life when a job comes, or when a networking opportunity comes, or when somebody says, hey, I want you to get into this business. Okay, I'll do it. And whether it works out or not, y'all jump into it and it don't work, and y'all try it again and it don't work, and y'all try it again and it don't work again. Y'all are getting to all this other stuff. Y'all get tied down to all this other nonsense. But when it comes to the man that you're supposed to be with, oh, I'm not sure about that. I don't know. Why don't you just go out to coffee with him just to see where you're at? I don't know. It might ruin some stuff. And the stuff that you ruined, going and messing around with everybody else, now you want him to fix it. Interesting.
I had a mentor tell me he took his fiance at the time on a hike and told her it was going to be like a 1 mile hike. It was going to be 30, 40 minutes. It ended up being a 10-mile hike. It took like 5 hours. His potential spouse was super pretty and dressed up and all these things. And he wanted to see on a long hike Could she handle discomfort? Could she be okay? Is she going to complain the whole time? Is she going to nag him, get mad at him, like, because they're lost on this hike and they're running out of water? And like, you're going to be married to somebody for your whole life. You're probably going to be in a stressful situation. You want to see how that person plays out. So
the fact that he's telling this story like this is beautiful is really taking me for a loop. He's trying to make sure that she doesn't complain. What? This is what I talk about when I say stay away from the men that try to test you or try to make you jump through hoops. So she only passes if she lets you punish her. Oh, no, sir. She's supposed to just accept the fact that you lied and tricked her. You got her there under false pretenses, and that's supposed to be okay. So she's supposed to pass your test, but you're out here failing hers. And the whole time while he's testing her to see her character flaws, he's exposing his own. So you don't mind lying and trickery to get what you want? You also show yourself to be somebody who doesn't care if she's uncomfortable. Matter of fact, even if you know she's uncomfortable, as long as she's quiet about it, she's wifey material? A man that loves you is not trying to punish you to see how much you can endure.
And what's funny is a lot of these modern women will go down a list of things that they expect a man to do, and then they'll be like, oh, if he doesn't do this, then he's getting chopped. Oh, he's getting cut and all that. And so a man might go a couple of weeks, or it used to be months on end, trying to do the things for you, but you're unappreciative of them, is essentially what it comes down to. She might drag a man on doing things, simping for her, basically. At that point, it'd be one thing if she was actually reciprocating and she was giving him that same type of energy back or similar, right? At least dump me a bone, do something for me. But you're not doing any of that. And so you got him in there 3-4 months deep doing for you, and you waiting on somebody else to come scoop you up. You hoping that the dude that you actually want gonna come and get you, gonna show you some interest, and he doesn't. And that's how modern women lose their position in dating. They'll try to hold on to somebody else thinking, oh, he gonna be here forever, trying to get this other person, and if I don't get this other person, I still have him over here, and I'll just keep on doing the same thing over and over again until I find somebody that I actually like. And then when it's time for me to break it to them, I'll talk to the group and they'll say some stupid stuff. Well, you know, it was never meant to be. I've been feeling this way over the past 2 or 3 weeks. Lying. You've been feeling this way over the past 3 to 5 years. You just been messing around with me because that other man didn't want you. Now, when you look like you have the opportunity, you're going to run to him. Once again, the problem is you're going to run to him. He's going to pump you, dump you, and you're going to send you on back to me. And you're going to want me to handle your foolishness. But I'm not. That's the way modern women think. I'm going to keep him on the hook, keep him running around and chasing me while I chase this other man. And when after 10 years, that man that I want don't want me, and I'm clear on that, I'm hoping that the man that I kept on putting on the back burner still wants me.
I went on a first date, and when I opened the door, my man was at my front door, and I was like, oh, right? And then he hit me with the Rico. He pulled the flowers out, and I was like, wow, this is different, right?
Rico.
So I'm not even paying attention. I brush past this, trying to walk down the steps and get to the door, right? Because I'm not paying attention. I'm just so not used to it, and it just hasn't, I just didn't have a lot of practice. He opened my car door. I get inside. He closed the door. I immediately went to my group chat. It's weird.
Did you say he opened your car door?
High five.
No. Now let me explain, right? Let me explain. By the time we got to the restaurant, my follow-up text was, y'all, that's my bad. I just realized, and all that stuff we be talking about, we don't really want it. And I felt like he technically did everything that we be saying we be wanting. In my mind, instinctively, my first thought was he corny. But he really did everything that we want.
This clip actually doesn't surprise me at all. I'm very aware that women think they want one thing and then they respond to another. And doing this whole traditional chivalry courting thing, absolutely, nowadays is going to get you put in the friend zone, nice guy zone. Oh, he's a good guy, but he opened the car door for me, but he did everything right, but...
Well, I
get a lot of comments from typically women telling me that I probably have low standards and I'm treated like garbage every relationship that I'm in, which really couldn't be further from the truth. Just because I don't demand flowers or for him to open the door for me, and just because I'm understanding of maybe his mistakes or him having flaws, like a human, doesn't mean he takes advantage of that, treats me badly as a result. There are some women out there who spread really toxic advice, encouraging you to constantly use your partner, play these weird head games, or straight up demand what you want out of the relationship. And that's not really how you get what you want. Having reasonable expectations gets you that type of partner you want sooner than having these weird requirements and assuming you know everything about him from one tiny interaction. Like, if he doesn't pay for the whole first date or something, doesn't make him a bad guy. The thing is, men are pretty simple. If you're reasonable, you're upfront and kind about what you want, you don't objectify him based on his income, his height, or any other silly superficial thing, you show that you're genuinely interested in him as a person, and you'll get a lot further in your relationships, and that man will want to do anything he can to keep you. Relationships will always be give and take, and you shouldn't be sitting there keeping track. Relationships aren't supposed to be heavily transactional, and that's where a lot of this dating advice goes wrong.
Look, strong women intimidate weak men. That's known. Because if he was an alpha, and he was in his masculine energy, pure masculine energy, not wounded energy, he would want a smart, hardworking woman on his side because she will inspire him, she'll guide him, she'll give him advice, she'll give him constructive criticism, she will be there, she'll be his rock, and together they can build. I don't want a man to sit down and watch me build and clap for me. No, I want a man to build with. So when a man is intimidated by a strong woman, he's weak. It's because there's nothing to be intimidated about. Men and women don't compete with each other, they complete each other. So I do need a man that is in his alpha and masculine, because if he's not, then I will tap into my masculine energy to basically bring that masculine energy into the relationship, because he doesn't have it. So it's so important for a man to be healed in his alpha energy, in his healed energy, for him to be able to allow the woman safely to drop into her feminine and for her to be a little girl. And it's very important because a lot of men complain, oh, females are very masculine nowadays. Men made us become like that. Life made us become like that. But if I'm with a healthy man, I'd be a baby. I'd be a girl. I don't want to be the boss lady at home. I don't want that. I want to be a girl. I want to be taken care of. I want to be with a man that tells me this is right, this is wrong, let's do this, how is your day?
I guess, need to respect him enough in order for him to have that kind of value.
A rule to a happy marriage and keeping your man, or a relationship if you don't want to get married, is this, and I don't hear people ever talk about it, so listen. Be happy instead of good. This rule only applies for women. Everyone as a woman has been taught to be a good girl. We want to be good. We want to make him the dinner. We want to do this, that, the other. We want to make him happy because that's how we've been trained and taught to do in society everywhere, school. But the truth is, he would rather you be happy than good. If you're running around flustered, tired, I see all the women in the DMs. I see all the women all over social media. They're talking about, I do this, that, the other. I work 2 jobs. I look after the kids and he just sits on the sofa. I'm unhappy. Okay. How about this? You drop all the good girl act, you drop the pick me act, you drop trying to fit into whatever it is you're trying to fit into, and just be happy. If you don't want to cook that chicken tonight, don't cook it and get a takeaway, whatever. I don't care. As long as you're happy, and he's going to value you more because you're going to give him peace. You're not going to make him go crazy. And we all think, oh, I've got to cook, I've got to clean, I've got to this. That's what I bring to the table. No, my friend. You will see the most, in quotes, useless women be worshipped by men. Why? Because they are happy. They make their lives happy and fun. They're light to be with. They have a playful energy. You know what you become when you are nagging, you're working really hard, you're doing everything for him, you're cooking for him, cleaning for him, you're raising his children, but you are just this angry rat in the corner resenting him, like, I'm doing all this for you, you're doing nothing. You're giving mothering energy. You're giving that martyring mother energy who's like, I sacrificed everything for you. I walked over the mountain to bring you to this country, immigrant parent style. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to sleep with that. cut it out. Just a suggestion.
And really, I think in a lot of these situations, what it comes down to is modern women want something, but then they want to modify that something, right? And so you have men that'll be men. They're actually masculine. I'll pay the bill. I'll pay the bills. I'll, initiate plans and open doors and all that stuff. But then when I do that and I don't do it to your liking, then you call me controlling, right? If I'm leading the house and I'm leading the charge and I'm making a decision, because this is what modern women like to do. They like to spend all day making a decision. And it's not like we hadn't discussed it. We didn't spend all day talking about this type of stuff. You just, give me a couple more days to think about it. Give you a couple more days. I really think I need a week. Give a couple weeks. By that time, the opportunity is gone. Well, that's just not what God had for us. No, it was. But you just wanted to do things on your timeline. And after 4 or 5 of those things, because modern women will do that, they'll control the relationship with their indecisiveness. And then when you start to move on and do your thing, it's just something about him. He just moving when he shouldn't. And let me tell you something, ladies, when a man wants to move too fast, that's of the devil. No, it's not. The devil ain't got nothing to do with that. That's your indecisiveness. You're slothful. You're lazy. You can't make up your mind. Analysis, paralysis, whatever you want to call it. But you need to, it's not even therapy. You need to learn, start making some decisions and sticking with it. See, what happens is modern women get out here and they don't like consequences. They want everything to go smoothly. And what I'm really trying to get you to do, sir, is I'm trying to get you, if we go with this decision, you take the blame. You make it right. I want to guarantee that everything is going to work out 100%. And if it don't, you take it on the chin. Every single thing. And that's why modern women get out here and they be talking about, well, if he take you out and he don't like you, then get some property out of him. Make sure he gives you that bag, or make sure he gets you some property, or make sure he gets you a car. Do you know what you're asking, silly? You're asking a man for, you just spent 5 minutes with the man. You're asking a man for a whole property, a whole house. Are you slow? Are you slow? Are you okay, ma'am? But this is what these modern women are doing today. A man go out there, take care of his responsibilities, doing what he's supposed to be doing, and can't get the woman to move. Can't get the woman to move. I want a man to do this, and a man do all of it. I just really ain't sold. We really need to go. Oh, don't rush me. You trying to love bomb me. That don't even fit right here. Oh, well, yet see, you always trying to play on my words. Girl, go back to therapy. You're a psychopath.